had to become my kid's own investigator or detective over the past 8 years or so, or I'd say at least 6 solid years, um, investigating what happened to my kids, as well as trying to piece together kind of uh, what they're not what they're afraid of to tell me. That's how I feel about a lot of the things. I can investigate the paperwork and the the court orders paperwork, the police reports and stuff like that. I can request the police reports. I can request the social worker reports. I can request disclosure of all the records, and I can gather that information myself, as well as medical records and other bits of information that pertain to this case or may be important to this case. And for years, I had felt like my kids were afraid to tell me something, or were hiding something from me. And then that became perfectly clear in 2019, and when my kids basically told me the truth about what was going on at their mom's house, as well as what was going on with them at One Safe Place, and some of the things that were happening in therapy, as well as the speech therapy. So when my kids told me what was going on, and I had talked to my kids, they were afraid to talk to me. They were terrified, and I remember my daughter said, "No, Daddy, I don't want to tell you the truth. I don't want to tell you what happened because I don't want you to go to jail." And I didn't understand. I was so confused because I was just like, well, why? I was like, why, honey? Why would I go to jail? I've never hurt you. I've never done anything to you, honey. And I was, my all three kids were sitting there. My boys were sitting there as well. And she just said, "No, Daddy. If I tell you the truth, you're gonna say something, and then you're gonna go to prison." And that was like the first sign that I realized that that my kids were being threatened by a judge in Shasta County Superior Court, as well as therapy and social workers and corrupt law enforcement. I started to piece together that basically there was a group of individuals, or a group of corrupt county employees that were molesting kids and molesting my kids specifically, and then lying to them and threatening them and telling them stories and stuff, and saying basically that if you tell your dad, or you tell anybody, like your dad, your daddy's going to go to jail. The only people that would have that type of authority would be the district attorney's office, judges, and police officers, or sheriff's deputies. Obviously, they would be the only people that would be able to threaten a child and tell them that instead of them going to jail, that they're going to put their parents in jail, or their daddy in jail. So I started uh, being more observant and aware and attentive to like all the little things that were going on around my house, as well as like little clues and little things that my kids would say, and try to kind of keep track of it. I didn't want to confront them with it because I didn't want to um, uh, enable. I didn't want them to feel like they couldn't talk to me about it. So I kept being open-minded. I don't want to say open-minded, objective, and trying to be just there for them, and open to talk to them anytime about anything. And I just kept telling them that I loved them unconditionally, no matter what, and that basically I would go to prison for the rest of my life if they were safe. I didn't care. So I started going through a lot of the things that were in their rooms, notes, little things in notebooks and coloring books and pictures, just everything that you could possibly think of as a parent, going through little nooks and crannies. And my daughter, all three kids like to kind of like keep little, journals, or little secret little compartments and stuff like that. And that's totally normal. And but I just started noticing like little things that were kind of like off. So I want to go over this real quick. I had to kind of give you a backstory to the to what I'm about to show you, just what I had found tonight. So October 2021, my two youngest kids got taken from me because of Judge Gibson and a temporary court order to grant my ex-wife and her new boyfriend custody of my two youngest kids. And it was right after my daughter had basically told me everything and what was going on in speech therapy, and that she was getting molested. So right after that, literally, I got my kids taken. Okay, so what before that, and then in the summer, what they were doing is they were making. They always like make little things that they're gonna try to sell at school. You know, like this is a stress ball. So it's basically a balloon, and what my daughter and my oldest son what they were doing was they were stuffing the balloon with sand and other other foamy objects, and making it kind of like a stress reliever, or a stress ball that you could squeeze. And they were really proud of it. They were going to sell them, for $1 and stuff. They had me go to the 99-cent store and get them a bunch of balloons and whatnot. So I had found this balloon. It was under the bed, and it was like torn in the bottom of it. So I was kind of curious about it. I was like, why is it torn at the bottom? Okay, so in the side of the balloon is sand. Okay, like a bunch of gravel, a bunch of sand, and I started thinking, like, where would she get a bunch of sand? Like there's not really any sand around here. But at school, in the park, at school, and in the playground, she would have sand. So she was probably getting some sand from the school. She's putting it in her balloon to make a stress reliever. Okay. Now this is where it got really interesting, and it got kind of bizarre for me, I guess, or just confusing. Okay. So inside the balloon was this foamy. It was actually it used to be a donut, and it was like a Pikachu donut or something like that, or what do they call them? Something like the little. Anyways, they're like little food items and stuff that she would get for her birthday and whatnot. And this was a foam donut, and she tore it up. She stuffed it inside the balloon with the sand, and inside was this wrapper, and it was a butterscotch wrapper. Okay, and I was like, why would a butterscotch wrapper be inside this balloon? Inside the butterscotch wrapper, okay, was the back of an earring, this end of a chapstick, okay, in the end of a chapstick, and in the back, on the bottom side of the chapstick, was a bunch of sand, obviously, stuffed inside where the Blistics or the Karmics would be, correct? So it was stuffed. This is all stuffed inside the back of this Blistics, lip balm tube. Okay, you can tell it's a lip balm tube. It has a little hole at the bottom. It's curved. Okay, this was inside of this. Okay, inside of this butterscotch wrapper. Okay, and inside of the Blistics point, or the tube. Okay, the inside of that point was, like I said, a bunch of sand. Okay, this item right here was stuffed inside. Okay, specifically this, and this back of this earring, a little back of an earring. That's the back of an earring right there. I don't know if you could. I'll try to show you, but it's like basically there it is. There's the little hole for the back of the earring, and then this is, I want to say it's the end of a pin, maybe, or I don't know. It looks like an end of a pin. Is what it looks like to me. It's kind of soft. It's kind of foamy, or maybe the end of a dart. Okay, and then the rest of the Carmex, the Blistics. So basically, this This was all stuffed up inside there. I don't want to put it back in there because I've already taken it out. Okay, but basically this sand has the ballistics on it. Okay, all this sand has the Carmex or whatever's on the end of it. Now, for a little girl, like she's 10, well, she's 12 now, but at the time that she was doing this, she's 10. And for her to put something so unique inside of a butterscotch wrapper and basically fold it up, it's all folded up, it was inside here. Okay? It was all folded inside this thing and wrapped up, okay? And folded inside of this balloon stuffed with sand. And this was inside of this. Okay? Now, she's not here. You know what I mean? I don't have my daughter, I don't have my kids, and I don't, I don't know what's going on with them. I haven't seen them for over a year, a couple of years. So I can't ask her what the heck were you doing, honey, or what was going on? Why would you put that specific of an item inside a wrapper, inside the balloon? And then she has this balloon inside her room, basically, and that, this is the balloon that she's not giving away. Okay? She's keeping it for something. She's keeping it safe for something, right? This little piece of cloth was in there, like a little piece of cloth, okay? The donut, the balloon, the sand from the playground at school, and this end of this pin, or, what, it looks like the end of a pin, or maybe the end of a dart, but it's very specific, you know what I mean? It's neon. It's open at the bottom, okay? There's another back to an earring, and then another back to an earring, and then this is all ballistics, or Carmex, or whatever it is that was inside this tube. Now, this tube would be DNA evidence. That's hypothetically, I guess you could say that would be I think that would be the only reason why she would stuff that in this wrapper and keep this particular tip to this ballistics, and put it inside here with these items. I would say, because I would say that this Carmex and then the tip of this ballistics would have DNA evidence on it. Now, if it's just hers, then it's just hers. Maybe she just wanted to put this stuff in there and she thought it was funny, or maybe she just was didn't know what else to stuff in there. Who knows? I don't know, because she's not here. I can't ask her. But these items are specific. At the back of an earring, this little tip to whatever this tip is, and then the ballistics, and then the Carmex on that, and then wrapped inside of a butterscotch. These are all items that are specific to her for whatever reason. And these items are telling a story about what happened to her, or what's going on with her. And that can't be addressed if I can't talk to her. You get what I'm saying? Basically, none of these questions have been answered because the county will not let me talk to my kids anymore. They basically, right after my daughter told me that she got molested, the county took the kids. And I didn't have anything to do with it. My kids were getting molested at their mom's house and getting molested in therapy. And the county tried to cover it up. So I'm going to put these items into a plastic bag. This is what I've been doing for the past, 6, 7 years. I'm going to put these items in a plastic bag. I'm going to label it, and I'm going to put it away. I'm putting it for safekeeping. I'm going to put the sand back in the balloon, okay? And then when local law enforcement or detective or investigator decides to pull their head out of their ass and realize that I've been telling the truth this entire time, and then also realize the fact that my kids have been trying to get help and trying to tell their dad what's been going on, and they're scared and scared to death that they're going to get taken away from me, or that I'm going to get hurt or go to jail because I'm trying to help them. And that's what the district attorney's office needs to realize, that this shit's been going on for years, and she refuses to do anything about it. So I have dresses that my daughter was wearing when she was molested at her mom's house. that has DNA evidence on it. I have these types of items. I have more than enough of these items like this. I have notes. Here's a note from my daughter, and she wrote a song. And listen to this song, okay? She wrote there's a bunch of sticky notes, okay? And it's a song, and I have all the sticky notes, okay? But this is on one side. It says, Hella, it says, Hella, hello, you on the nice list. Hello, you are on the nice list. Hello, you are on the nice list. On the back side it says, but the naughty list is too secret. Now, as far as a dad, as a father, as a parent, the only naughty list that I could possibly think of in her life or in our lives would be not the naughty list for Santa. And that would mean that she was misbehaving, or that she would, that what was misbehaving at school, or doing something and not listening. It would never have to be a secret. So what is the naughty list is too secret? What does that mean? And then if she's not here for me to be able to ask her those questions, right? What does this mean, honey? What are you talking about? And make sure that she feels safe and protected away from whoever's trying to hurt her or molest her or take her away from her dad. Then I can't answer these questions. But I tell you right now, but the naughty list is too secret. That terrifies me as a parent. I'll tell you the truth right now. That is horrible. That is disgusting to me, because there's no reason why the naughty list in my life or in her life should have to be too secret. So I'm here, as usual. I keep getting blamed and keep getting thrown in jail, and I keep getting arrested, and I keep getting targeted and threatened and intimidated, and I keep telling the truth about what happened to my kids. When I was recently in jail, someone filed paperwork on Kendra's behalf and filed a declaration page, and it specifically said, get this, that my daughter wouldn't know what the FBI means or DNA evidence means